I need to have good credit. I need to be able to qualify for properties when this market turns. I need to be in a good position. What if the market does this? What if the market does that? You know what? I'm a real estate investor. I'm going to flip houses in every single market. Is it going to get tougher as the market shifts? Absolutely. But is there a way to make money? Absolutely.
Hey, welcome back to the VIP Financial Education YouTube channel, where we help you go further, faster financially while remaining safe in the process. Today's special guest needs no introduction. You guys are going to recognize him. Mr. Tarek El Moussa is with us today to teach us all things real estate, how he got his start, how credit played a role in his success, how partners played a role in his success, how you guys can start exploring expanding your real estate ventures as well. He's got some exciting stuff to share with us today regarding his projects and his business expansions and what 2020 and beyond has in store for him. So without further ado, guys, let's welcome our guest, Mr. Tarek El Moussa. Tarek, thanks, buddy.
What's up, buddy? How's it going?
It's going awesome. We're really busy on our end, but it sounds like we're just trying to keep up with you. I was just talking to Tarek's guy, Josh, and he was filling me in that they are actually going to be coming out with season 9 of Flip or Flop, huh?
Yeah, man, I can't believe it. You know, it's like every season, it's like, this has got to be the last one. And then all of a sudden, man, the ratings are there. We get the call. They're like, hey, you want to do a season 911? We're like, yeah, let's do it. So super excited about it, man. The show's done real well over the years. So
well, we all love it. And obviously that's why we all recognize you. And you know, it probably had some role in a lot of us. You know, those early shows were really influential, I think, to people getting fired up about real estate. And
oh, absolutely, man. I just had this crazy idea back in 2010. I actually pitched the TV show before I ever flipped a house.
Hi, my name is Tarek El Moussa.
And I'm Christina El Moussa.
We're professional real estate agents. We've been specializing in luxury real estate in Southern California for the past 10 years. So if you take a look behind us, this is our first flip. It's a 7,300 square foot estate. We paid $2.2 million for it. And here's the deal, this isn't our flip. We bought a dump in Santa Ana for 115 grand, and we're hoping to at least make a couple dollars.
It was like at the beginning of my first ever flip. It was spring 2010, and I was like, man, if I can learn how to flip houses and do it on TV, I think we have something. So that first year was a struggle, man, but we got it done.
wow. So had you had any experience in real estate before that flip? I mean, did you do any buy and holds before that?
Just selling real estate, and then I own 2 rental properties. Yeah,
okay.
Flipping houses and buying rentals, like 2 different animals.
Oh, yeah. So in 2010, spring of 2010, the market was kind of wild. I mean, it, in hindsight, was a great time to get in, but it was probably nerve-wracking as hell, right? I mean, you're like, dude, is the world ending?
2010 was nerve-wracking, especially in California, because back then there was the California tax credit they had. And I remember the market was doing pretty well, and we're like, man, this is the recovery. And then they took the tax credit, and the market softened. I was in the middle of my second flip, and I was like, oh, crap, what am I going to do? But, you know, I just put my head down and keep grinding, and it worked out.
What was the nudge in that direction of, hey, I'm going to start flipping with just 2 rentals under your belt at that point?
And you know what? I think as an entrepreneur, I'm different than most, because when I decide to do something, I really don't think about anything else other than the fact that someone else is doing it.
Okay. I love that.
If someone else is doing it, I can do it. There's no reason why someone else is doing it and I can't do it. So I'm a huge believer, and I don't care how many people are doing it. I don't care how competitive it is. There is always space in the market for a new investor.
Super, super on the same page with you on that. I mean, so it's like, okay, you believe you can emulate other people's success, and you're, you know, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I always consider myself too dumb to think too long about something, right? I have these coaching members that come in that are geniuses. Literally, we work with NASA. And so these guys are rocket scientists, and they will overanalyze the shit out of
something. I've met some of the smartest people in the world. I'm trying to talk, what about this? What about this? I'm like, you got to stop with those what abouts and what ifs, buddy. You just got to go.
Exactly.
You, man. I mean, I would have lost millions of dollars over the years if I was like, what if the market does this? What if the market does that? You know what? I'm a real estate investor. I'm going to flip houses in every single market. Is it going to get tougher as the market shifts? Absolutely. But is there a way to make money? Absolutely.
So thinking back on it now, after almost 20 years under your, 10 years, God, it probably feels like 30, but
Almost 20 years in real estate, man. I started slinging those houses when I was 20 years old.
Oh, yeah. And you and I are almost the same age. I just turned 41 and I started in business at 20 as well. So it's awesome to get your feet wet in the kind of retail aspect of it first, right? Because then you're really familiar with the vocabulary. You know what seems like it could be a good deal. You know what to look for. You know how teams work. How have teams played a role for you? I mean, it seems like just from our side on the show, you guys are always counting on people.
Yeah, man, I do so many different things. I think so far I've flipped right under 500 houses in the last, I think, 9 years. So, in year one, we did, 3 houses. Year 2 was like 13, year 3, 18, year 4, 46, year 5, 88. So it just grew and grew and grew. And I'm a master of delegating tasks, I would say, because I'm able to manage multiple TV shows, digital products, the companies, the investments, everything, because I'm just really good at delegating.
What can you tell somebody about the early stages? Because you start thinking about growing a team, and you're like, well, I don't have any money.
Exactly. Right? Here's the real deal right here. Like when I started this company, it was in a cubicle alone back in 2010, man. There was just me and nobody else. So I did the prospecting, the marketing, the fixing, the control. I did every single thing possible. And I was on my own. And then once I got to a point where I couldn't manage everything anymore and I started making money, then I brought in my first employee. Brought him in, I think, at $12 an hour. His job was to fold envelopes. Now he's VP of sales. So it's a transition. I started him folding envelopes. Then I got him doing transaction work. Then I got him on sales calls. Now he runs acquisition team, right? So that's what I did with my first guy. My second employee, same thing, started folding envelopes. And then what I did is I had the first guy I trained the second guy that I hired. So it's just a chain effect, right? You just got to build them from the base. And at the beginning, like I said, I was everything. And it was the best opportunity for them because they were with me 24/7. I wasn't filming the crazy TV shows like I do now. I wasn't on these podcasts. I wasn't traveling on business. So I was actually in the office. So they got to learn from me one-on-one.
Yeah. And you also got to learn too, right? So you're kind of like trial by fire. So you're
my house flipping education was like, oh shit, I just spent $1 million. Now I got to figure out how to flip this house. Like I didn't go through courses or training. I mean, I wish I did. It would have saved a lot of headaches. But yeah, man, just trial and error, and it just grit and will, man. That was it.
So I'm sure some of the scariest deals were the ones early on. Now you've got obviously a lot more confidence in yourself. You've got a bunch of people that you can count on. The experience is priceless. But what were some of the most memorable, scariest deals that come to mind for you over the last 10 years?
Yeah, so many scares. I remember the first house I bought at auction. It was a condo in Santa Ana, paid $115,000. I remember bidding on the courthouse steps with those checks in my hand, and I was shaking. I was so nervous. But man, I've seen it all. I bought houses where I had to tear down additions. I've had to fill in pools. I've got cockroaches, snakes.
Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
Anything you could possibly think of, like chickens, birds, like everything. Like I've seen it all.
Did you have a partner on that first deal? It was private money?
So on the first deal I ever did, so what happened was I wanted to flip houses. I had just gone broke. I made a good amount of money in my early 20s selling real estate. The market crashed, and I found myself with real estate knowledge and a successful track record, but completely broke. Like I was done. I was a 25-year-old kid.
But you were still holding those 2 properties at that time, though, right?
Yeah.
Were they cash flowing?
Huh?
Were they cash flowing?
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Really? Oh.
And I still have those suckers today. I didn't.
Oh, dude. Yeah, you're probably glad you do.
I still have them today, and they are worth more than what I paid for them. And I paid.
It took a long time.
160. They went down to 80,000, man. Back then, I was poor. Like I had no money, and I was upside down. And I was like, I'm not letting this go. Today, they're worth over 200,000. So I weathered the storm.
Dude, attaboy, man. That took grit, because I'm sure you were probably like, what am I doing? You can't say that short selling and even possibly foreclosing didn't come across your mind at least one time. You're like, should I let these things go? Or
absolutely did. But in my mind, I was always like, I need to have good credit. I need to be able to qualify for properties when this market turns. I need to be in a good position. Well, it turns out I probably could have done a short sale and all those different things, and my credit would be fine.
Yeah.
I kept them for many different reasons. One, just to say that, you know, I sucked it up. I did what it took to keep those properties, and I did it. And it like, I was negative a couple $100 a month, and back then a couple $100 a month was the difference between me like eating or not. So
I know a couple $100 a month was the reason a lot of people did short sale.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that credibility factor, because I teach what we call the 3 C's of banking and borrowing: credit, access to capital, resulting in cash flow, right? So credit and credibility. Tell me a little bit about these partnerships, because it seemed to me and probably to a lot of your fans that you had some really great partnerships that you were able to align with.
Well, here it is. At the beginning, when I was first flipping houses, man, like I said, I started on my own in a cubicle. It was all grit. I went to everybody I knew. I've been talking everybody, and everybody said, no, they're not going to invest with me. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, it's part of the process. So I know there are people out there trying to like get people to invest, and everybody's telling them no. Like, that's part of the process. You have to get a million no's till you get a yes. So I finally got a yes, and it was an old coworker of mine, but he was actually
just networking, circle of influence
company that I worked for. So like I said, man, I just pitched everybody I knew, and he put up the capital at the beginning, and then we split the profit 50-50, and I did all the work, and today we're just full-on business partners.
Oh, so you're still partnered with him?
Yeah.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
So let's fast forward to today. I'm just kind of curious, and we can kind of unpack it, but so how many deals do you have right now? First of all, let's start with buy and hold. How many rentals do you own?
I think rental properties, had a few in escrow. I'm not sure I think we're at 90 houses between me and my business partner own. And those are all self-funded houses with, you know, a wrap loan across them. But yeah, it's all our own properties. So it's not other people's money.
That's awesome. How many projects are you working on that you're working on flipping right now?
Yeah, so about 90 rental properties. I own 40,000 square foot commercial building in Orange County, California, which I've done really well on, man. I think it's valued around 8.5 or 9 now.
Wow.
Flips, we've slowed down a little bit. I think in 2019, we'll probably end up in the low 50s, which I'm happy with. And I think 2021, we're changing the business model a little bit more towards wholesaling. So we're increasing the marketing spend, decreasing the real estate asset purchase, and we're trying to do more volume.
Wow. How do you oversee all that? It's just the delegation aspect. I mean, is it just because you have great teams in place, and do you have project managers that are running each project, or general contractors that are handling for you?
So I have one primary general contractor, and each sales guy, they get a portion of profit. So their job is to find the asset, manage the asset, sell the asset, and they get a portion of profit. So they're incentivized to work hard, because the higher the profit, the more money they make.
Okay. So they're coming up with the deals for you at this point. You're not sitting there on the computer digging through every single listing. That's awesome.
I probably haven't done that in 5 years.
That's awesome. Because I know over the years, we've seen you guys on the computer just digging.
Yeah, I mean, we've grown a lot. You know, it's like people don't realize it's a real company. We've done close to 500 houses. We have close to 100 rental properties. And, you know, we have TV commercials. We have radio ads. We have sponsored posts across social media. We have other digital marketing tactics. You know, spend over $1 million a year on marketing alone.
Wow, that's incredible. And I love how real you are, man. I mean, because at the end of the day, you're not afraid to admit that, you know, you really just came up from a space of not really knowing what you're doing. And
it was like, I didn't know anything, like nothing.
That's the reassurance people need, because that's where most people are, obviously, right? And they're sitting there looking at it, and yeah, of course there are products and programs or services that you can invest in shortcut.
Here's the thing, like if someone wants to get into real estate investing, you just got to look in the mirror and tell yourself you're going to screw up about 100 times, and it's okay. Like it's
100 times a month.
Yeah, I mean that's it. It's like what do you got to lose, man? Like you got one life to live. If you want to flip houses, go do it. Go work on it.
So some of the things that I've seen has interfered as a fear point for people along the way has been, you know, family life. You know, and I know you've got a couple kids. Are they both younger than 10? I mean, you started before you had kids. Is that right?
My daughter is 9 years old and my son is 4 years old. We shot the pilot or the home video during our first flip when my 9-year-old was still in my ex's stomach. So you knew that she was pregnant and you were doing your first deal. Yeah.
Okay, so there's no excuse here, because
and I was totally broke, and I borrowed against all my credit cards. Like I maxed everything out. I put it all on the line.
Dude, good for you, man. Because honestly, I have people coming to me and they use family as an excuse because, you know, they don't want to cause any potential risk for
It's like anything. I don't want to go to the gym. I didn't sleep well. I had a long day. Like nobody wants to go to the gym. Oh, actually, no. Some people are sick and they like the gym. That's not. But listen, you just have to set a plan and be motivated and set goals. Like no one is ever going to do anything for you.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't matter who you are. Nobody is going to do it but you. So I just tell people, man, you just got to believe in yourself. It's not rocket science. Like I can tell you this, like in my opinion, I think it is way more difficult going to like Harvard University for 4 years than it is to build a business. Like,
hell yeah, man. I mean, and you go out and get a law degree, become a lawyer, and practice law for your entire career, and your life is going to be way harder than yours and mine.
What's harder, reading, learning about flipping houses, reading books with like font that's this big, or reading legal books that are this big?
100%. I could say that about almost every career out there.
That's the difference. Just like with education, the reason people can do that and they go to law school is because they know at the end they're going to get that degree. The reason people don't put in the grit for real estate because there's no guarantee. But what they don't realize is if they do what they're supposed to do, and if they're working like they're trying to get a freaking Harvard degree, they're going to be successful.
That's 100% true. And I know people that have positions that pay way less than law, that they work even harder than a lawyer would too, right? I mean, it's not directly related to how much you earn as to how hard you're working.
Just human nature, man. Like I talk about schooling all the time. The reason like people go to schools like Harvard and things like that, it's not really about what you're learning, but it's about the fact that you're able to accomplish such a huge goal at such a young age. What does that tell me? That means you're willing to put your ass to work and you're willing to outthink and outwork everybody else. And that's the person I want to hire. Mm-hmm. So like I see so many things out there knocking college and school. Like I didn't go to college, I didn't go to school, but there are so many great things about it, I agree.
I think it's about whether or not you're actually going to use it to your benefit, and that makes it worth it. So many people don't, which is what, those circumstances were. Let me ask you a question about, kind of staying on track with family life. Do you find it difficult with all the balls you're juggling to maintain balance? It seems like you're better than ever, man. I mean, honestly.
I am. I'm in the absolute best place I've ever been in my entire life. Everything is fantastic. And, it's all about balance, and I balance it. Like when my kids are here, I'm home at 5:30 p.m. Like that's it.
Yeah, because I think people have a misconception that in order to be an entrepreneur or to be successful investing, you got to put it all on the line, right? And I think there's a lot of examples of that scare people off. You've got the Vaynerchuks, you've got the Cardones, and these guys look like they're working 24 hours. And so people are like, well, I don't want that, including me. I'm saying, listen, I got a lot of things I'm passionate about. I'm not interested in diving 100% into only one thing.
But what people don't realize is guys like Gary and guys like Grant and guys like me, like we are working like 24 hours, but then we relax for 24 hours. We're not really 24 hours. But like, for example, like I'll work, like crazy, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like, 12, 14 hours. And then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I have my kids and I'm home by 5:30. Like it's all about balance.
Mm-hmm. It seems like a supportive partnership, significant other, means a lot. I've been blessed with it. When I have it, things are just like this. When things were bad in my partnerships, it seems like it has a direct impact on my growth and productivity. I'm just curious whether or not you find that to be true too.
Well, I mean, it makes a huge difference. I'm on my own for 3.5 years, right? So like, who am I sharing my life with? Who am I telling my stories to? Who am I asking questions to, right? So now I'm with Heather and I have someone to talk about my plans, my dreams, my goals, what I'm building. She motivates me. It's like, and my priorities are refocused. When I was on my own, I was going out a lot more. I was a little bit less focused on work, although I still work my tail off. And now I'm like hyper focused on work. I feel like I have a full life again. I have everything. It's complete.
And she's obviously involved in and just as passionate about real estate as well. Do you guys work together on your businesses, or is she doing everything on her own separately? And I know she's also.
Yeah. She's on Netflix TV show Selling Sunset. They're selling these like super crazy cool LA houses. In the future, I do see us working together in the TV world. I think we'll definitely do something together, whether it's HGTV or Netflix or who knows what it is, but I think that's in our future.
Last question for you. When you're just kind of starting out here, what is the impact of a daily routine for you?
I would say the most important thing is a daily routine. It is probably the biggest key to my success. I did the exact same thing every single day at the exact same time religiously for years.
How did you discover what your routine should be.
Different things over the years, but I do know this, the foundation to any business, lead generation and prospecting. So my top priority every single day was to look for new houses to buy, and that's what I did. I never did construction, and I learned early on, thank God I didn't do construction. I was really bad at it. But like I focus on finding real estate. And the reason I was able to build such a large business so fast is because when I bought that first flip, like I wasn't over at the house laying sod and putting in irrigation. I hired someone for $12 an hour, and I was looking for houses that would make me $100,000. I'll save $300. Well, $300 took you 2 days of work, and those 2 days you could have found a house and made $100,000. You have to look for new deals every single day. That's it. Our job isn't to do the landscaping. Our job is find the best, most honest, cheapest, fastest landscaper.
Yeah.
The difference between the two.
Yeah. But you would be comfortable in that situation borrowing the money temporarily so that that could be taken care of in order to free up your time to reinvest towards the bigger value, correct?
Absolutely. Because
you heard it here, guys.
Find one house, I can find two. If I can find two, I can find three. If I can find three, I can find 500.
Well, we love talking about, I guess the concept of good debt, bad debt. I always tell people I hate debt, but I love leverage. And it's a bit of a contradiction.
Love leverage.
Love leverage. So that's awesome, man. So daily routine, the number one key to success is consistency. Is that a good word?
Consistency. And I found through actually really helped me. I read this book called The Miracle Morning, and it really put things into perspective on the importance of your morning routine. And I wake up at the exact same time every single day now. I don't hit snooze. I wake up exactly at 6:30 a.m. every day, and my morning is the exact same routine. So it's called The Miracle Morning.
Awesome. Well, hopefully people will pick up that book. Let's talk about your next season.
Well, my new show, Flipping 101.
Yeah, Flipping 101. Let's talk about that first. So tell me about Flipping 101 with Tarek El Moussa.
Yeah, Flipping 101, man. It's my first solo project. I am so excited. It's taking every single thing I know about house flipping and bringing it to the TV screen, man. So I'm taking these new or rookie flippers, guiding them through the process of flipping their, first or second house.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I'm pretty much coaching them through the process. And
dude, what a great idea.
It is fun, man, because like I've been doing this so long, and then I go and this is like their first house. I'm like, you have to do this. They're like, yeah, Tarek, you're the man. I got you. You're the best. I come back a week later and it is wrong, like all wrong. Like nothing I said to do was done. And I'm like, I was like, are you guys messing with me? They're like, well, we thought it was better this way. I'm like, well, how many houses have you done again? Well, I'm like, yeah. So the show's exciting. It's real. It's raw. And I'm just like brutally honest, man. I caught a little bit of a Hell's Kitchen at HGTV.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, there's nobody better, man. I'm still watching those kitchen nightmares. Yeah. Sometimes you got to yell at people, man. A couple of F-bombs go a long way.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when does Flipping 101 actually launch then?
So Flipping 101, 14 episodes will start airing, I think, May 2020. Season 9 of Flip or Flop, we just started filming that like 2 weeks ago. It's probably going to air spring 2021 because it takes about a year to film.
Oh, okay. All right, great. Yeah. So you're back-to-back then on these bad boys. Is this HG?
HGTV, yeah.
Good. Awesome. Anything else that you have coming up that you want to let these guys know about? Because I'm gonna beg you to come back this spring, because I think you got
some exciting news. It's a little early on, but one thing that I'm very, very excited about is taking everything I've learned over the years and just sharing it with as many people as possible. So I'm gonna be working on digital house flipping programs. Teaching people how to flip some houses, and also. I've got a partner, and starting next year, we're putting together a fund. We're going to raise capital and start buying apartment buildings. So I'm super excited.
Man. Okay. So you're getting into multi-unit, going commercial on a much bigger level.
Yeah. And my business partner on that already owns close to 4,000 units. He's an entrepreneur. He's super experienced. So it's going to be awesome, man. I'm super excited.
Any secrets to partnering?
Man, for me, only partner with someone that has the same work ethic as you. That's it. Because if they don't, it's going to drive you nuts. That's it.
That's great advice. I can second that for sure. The only time it ever backfired for me was when work ethic or ethics in general, values weren't aligned.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, it's important when you're in a partnership that both people carry the workload and both are equal partners. That's how it should be.
Well, hey, man, I know you're a busy guy, and I can't thank you enough for just coming out here and getting these guys fired up. We have not till now had somebody solving the flip equation inside our content. So this is really, really cool that it's somebody with such a great deal of not just reputable experience, but the knowledge you have is, it's priceless. So thank you. I'm going to bring you back on in a few months, and we'll kind of do a follow-up segment to this and see if we can't even get some people rocking and rolling on some flips. Because I personally think that there's probably another really great market around the bend, similar to where you were at in 2010, where people can really make a killing.
There's a lot of exciting things coming in the next couple of years.
Hell yeah, buddy. Well, thanks again, Tarek. I really appreciate you, man. And keep up all the hard work.
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
See ya.
See ya. Bye, guys.
Alrighty, so I realize that some of you have not gotten one of the single most popular budgeting tools available, not to mention it's free, and that is called the Cash Flow Cruncher. So what I want to do today is walk you through the process of downloading your very own copy. It comes in the form of an Excel spreadsheet, so it's very easy to use, and it's quick to navigate. So let's go ahead and walk through that process together. Go to cashflowcruncher.com, which will take you to the download page. Simply type your email address into the field to claim your free copy, and go ahead and select the red button. Immediately, it'll pull up the download button, which will open a new Cash Flow Cruncher spreadsheet. The first page it'll open is the Cash Flow Summary tab, which is a non-editable page. It's very important to understand that this opening tab will not require you to put any information into these fields. This actually imports the data from the other tabs below. Now, if you've ever used an Excel spreadsheet, you'll navigate the spreadsheet by going to individual pages down here. And it'll start with the revenue and assets page. On this page, you'll want to itemize each individual income that you bring into the household or the business. Now, it's always been my recommendation that you create an individual cash flow cruncher for your businesses, an individual cash flow cruncher for your real estate, and an individual cash flow cruncher for your household.